Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. Salam sejahtera. My name is Moshidi Frederick. I'm the City Secretary of Miri City Council. First and foremost, I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Pustaka Negeri Sarawak Miri for inviting me to share a bit of my experience in managing our City Council, and then particularly in terms of infrastructure development in Miri. Miri achieved the city status on 20th of May 2005. That was about 15 years ago. And then if you look at the development in Miri, the booming time of infrastructure development in Miri was started in the 90s. If you look back, there's a number of giant projects, if I may say it, was developed in the 90s. Particularly like the Miri Park City development, the reclamations, and also the expansions of our beaches area in Miri. There is one of the biggest project in Miri, and then it was completed somewhere in 2005. And apart from that, on the council part, we have involved in a number of development projects, particularly in terms of providing recreational facilities to Mirian. It started with the development of Miri City Fan in the mid-90s, with the first phase of project consists of the civic promenade that is adjoining to the existing Dewan Suara Miri. It was completed somewhere in 1996, and then 2 years after that, in 1998, we have developed the phase 2 of City Fan, which consists of the developments of parks. There is the Islamic gardens, the Chinese gardens, and then also the Unity Gardens. And the third phase of City Fan involved the development of Pustaka Negeri Sarawak Miri. So we have managed to develop the three phases of these Miri City Fan projects. So that's what happened in the past before we achieved the city status in 2005. Once Miri achieved city status, there's a number of development project has been planned and it has been implemented by Miri City Council in particular, and also by other government agencies and also private sector. So today, what I'm going to touch on the development, the existing development in Miri, is on the iconic landmark, the new iconic landmark for Miri, whereby in near future we are going to have a Miri City Hall. So this project actually located at the peninsula tip of Miri Marina Park City, and then it's just next to the existing Miri Central Park, and then at the south of this building is the Marina Boat Club itself. And what we're going to have, or what you're going to develop for this building, as a new landmark for Miri, is a 9-story building, and with an open elevated promenade platform with a grand entrance steps towards the main exit of the existing Miri Central Park. And we also have a separate vehicular and pedestrian zone, and also a label creating a highly visible landmark structure. And what we're going to build also for this building, is a seahorse as our official symbols to represent the multi-ethnics and also multicultural of our local community in Miri, and also to identify Miri as being a city located near the sea, and of course it is associated with the beautiful beaches, coral reefs, and the sea creatures. That's why we have adopted the seahorse as our official symbols, and that is going to reflect it in the decorative panel of the front elevations of this building. And I also would like to touch on the shape of this building. The elevated City Hall tower actually taking into a shape of an oil barrel. Why oil barrel? Because we would like to honor Miri as the first oil town in the nation, and then knowing very well in the past, we have been known as an oil town, Miri oil town, and then at the same time, by building a round shape or round form of the tower, we believe that we are going to minimize the wind frictions since the building is located at the seaside. All right. Another things that I would like to touch on with regards to the development in Miri is on the development of Miri Smart City initiatives. What I'm going to mention here is this project actually is already in the pipeline, and then it will be expected to be completed by this coming September. So if we look at the concept of Miri Smart City, we have developed what we call it a proof of concept, whereby it consists a number of initiatives under Miri Smart City. The first thing that I'd like to touch here is on the initiatives that we have. There is, we're going to develop a number of digital signages in those strategic locations in the city area. For example, we're going to build digital signages at the airport site as a main entrance to Miri. Beside that, also digital signages at the famous wireless walk in Miri. And then beside that also, we are taking into considerations that we need to enhance the safety and security features in our city. That's why we have come up with the safe city concept. And we also going to have another few smart concept that we're going to develop in this project. That is smart buses, smart garbage trucks, smart drain, smart parks, and also the tourism as another what you call the concept that we're going to develop in this smart city. And beside that, we also going to enhance further the local government system that we have right now. That is the system what we call it adalah 2. So we believe with this development of smart city, it will spur further the economic development in Miri, and also it also going to strengthen further the social development part in Miri. And then with this project, once it's completed, we believe our people in Miri, particularly our customer, they're going to have a new modern type of lifestyle in Miri. Yeah. And another things that I would like to touch on, we talk about the development in Miri, we should not forget about our environment. That's why when we talk about environment, the famous concept right now is a green concept of development. And I may say that also Miri has been chosen as one of the city in Malaysia to run what we call, there is a low carbon city framework. And then under this low carbon city framework, we have a number of initiatives that we're going to develop further, and with a number of teams or strategy that we're going to enhance further in order for us to achieve the green city concept. So the strategy that we have is, number one, we would like to improve the standard of living. How are we going to improve the standard of living? We should provide a proper, we call it city services, to the people of Miri. Then among the initiative is to improve the drainage system that we have, and then of course we need to improve the road system and also the smart traffic, with the introduction of the smart traffic light in Miri. Beside that also, we also going to embark into a low carbon building by implementing or by developing green building index concept. That's why for Miri City Hall, as I mentioned earlier, we have planned for this building to achieve the green building index, and then of course we have appointed a consultant to look into this subject. Beside that also, another building that we're going to develop under this GBI is our current Miri Green Hub Center. Beside that also, we have developed a number of green concept for our own buildings, particularly like our markets, whereby we have developed what we call that is rainwater harvesting systems for our markets and also the public toilets around the city area. And another things that we are thinking about is, to achieve the green concept is, of course, we need to reduce waste generations for Miri. That's why Council, for the past 10 years, we have started with a number of initiatives. And then among the initiatives that is being implemented at the moment, there is our composting program. And then also, we also going to install a number of composting machines in our market to enhance further. And then beside that also, we also coming up with a zero plastic concept. And Miri City Council also has come up with initiatives that we are going to plant what we call sequestration trees, tree planting project, and then our target is to plant not less than 5,000 trees per year. And then of course, these trees we are going to plant at the strategic areas, especially at our recreational parks and also at the roadside. And another thing that I'd like to touch is on the what we call the 5R activities. When we talk about development in Miri, we should not neglect, what we call sustainable environmental development. That's why, beside the green building index, beside reduction of waste, we also actively involve in what we call the 3R initiatives. There is reduce, reuse, and recycles. So this program is actually under the management of the standing committee. We have a standing committee in council and a standing committee of green community and environmental development. So what we are going to do here is, we are going to appoint the recycling agents. I just give a good examples of those used cooking oil from those food and eateries around our city. So this project, we involve those licensed, what I call it, used cooking oil collector. And then beside that also, we're going to attract more public, through what we call is public and also council partnerships to enhance further into the recycling projects. All right. So when we talk about the future, what we would like to see in future for Miri, beside the existing infrastructure development that we have, we would like to see what we call it a close collaborations between the government, public institutions like councils, together with the private sector and also the rakyat at large. We want to strengthen further the collaborations so that when we develop Miri, we would like to hear the feedbacks, the ideas, so that when we develop it together, it will enhance further what we call the concept of sense of ownership of Miri, right? So these are the things that we would like to see. And then, of course, in terms of sustainable development, sustainable environmental development, we need to take care of our environment. That's why I touched just now, on the development of the green concept for our city, right? So we hope that, that all the three elements that I mentioned just now, there is the public institution, the private sector, and then the rakyat at large, can work together, and then can produce ideas together. At the same time, you can see the fruit of it in near future, that all the projects in Miri is going to be enjoyed, is going to bring benefits to all of us, the rakyat of Miri. With that, thank you very much.